Okay, we're going to try this again. Started doing a reading and then got hijacked by spirit. So I don't know. We're just gonna keep trying. I am so not in charge, really. And there's power to not being in charge. There's, see? Hey Ziggy, stop on dot.
7:30 p.m. alarm stopped on dot.
I have an alarm set on my Alexa, and I renamed it Ziggy because people want to talk about Alexa and then it wants to start talking, so I changed it to something else. So anyway, here we go. So I guess we're doing something else now. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. Things are trying to turn around in a more positive direction. All right. And it's communication. It's also swiftness. So and then I use the Four of Wands for like home. Right. This is Venus in the sign of Aries, which is like beauty, love, things like that. Starting depends on where Venus is in your chart too. I mean, where Aries is in your chart. But Aries is ruled by a sign of Mars, so this can also be related to things having to be removed because Aries is ruled by the planet of Mars, and Mars is about like letting go, stuff like that. But it's also related to power, stuff like that. Where I use it for where you're putting your energy to, stuff like that. And so like if you're looking to create a home, right, beautify your home, stuff like that. If you are looking to move, right, then like maybe you have to like think about like beautifying your home, stuff like that, putting energy into your home, stuff like that, because Venus is beauty, right? But to me this looks like unexpected things trying to happen around you. It's like getting out of a rut, basically, because the Wheel of Fortune is a lot about like kind of getting off the merry-go-round. Basically, it is about unexpected things. It's about karma, stuff like that, and But in this particular case, I do feel like it is some kind of positive karma that is coming up around here, right? And especially, right, if you are, especially if you're minding your P's and Q's, especially if you are paying attention to your words, because this is communication. Sorry, ambulance is going by. I live like 8 doors from a hospital. So whatever, man. So yeah, and Four of Wands is also a card related to like stability too. So there is that. So if you are speaking things more positively, things like that, then there can be more stability around you. And so it really depends on you, right? How is your communication, right? Because if you have a negative history of communication, right, then that can come back to bite you in the ass. But this, to me, feels like it has more to do with positive communication, positive things that have happened around you. Spirit's talking about like blessings coming. It's not the word that I use. I'm not one of those people. Not like spouting about blessings, all of that. Not that they don't exist, right? It's just that I'm not one who uses that word. That's why I know it comes from the spirit, right? So, but this is building new value systems around your life, right? It does show here about an altar, right? So it really talks about building new altars around your life, but who uses that word? And so we have this kind of does talk about building, right? This is like classes, training programs, things like that, life lessons, right? And it has to do with the work that you were doing related to communication, right? And letting go of worry, right? 5 is the number of change, right? And it would indicate that there are lessons that are related to worry, right? Again, your words, right? How you're talking about your money and finances, Pentacles, and then this other card here is Pentacles, right? So how you're thinking about your money, how you're talking about your money, right? So it's being important that you are talking more positively about your money and finances. So a lot of emotional things trying to happen around here. This indicates that there could be a woman, could be a man, but it shows woman. So somebody with like female energy, gay man, or somebody, woman, female energy like that, right? Somebody here who's trying to come in to help you, right? Again, communication oriented card. This is a card that can be connected to the internet, which is what we're doing right now, right? And because this is a card related to megaphone. So it's fantasies that have the ability to become reality. This is a magician, so it is related to communication. And the magician in and of itself does say that you have the tools that you require, right? And there's a lot of stuff that goes on here about like cutting through issues related to the future. This can be an air sign person, usually somebody that's a Libra, but it's an air sign person. Usually this card shows up as somebody who can be, it's a lot of creative energy, right? The yellow is mental creative energy. The green is physical creative energy, so mentally and physically creative, right? But this is somebody here who feels that they are coming in. It doesn't feel like there's somebody who's in your life right now. It does feel like it's somebody coming in, somebody who can be important to you, especially somebody who is helping you to deal with your money and finances, somebody who's helping you to deal with whatever's going on here around your home, right? And so it can be some sort of classes, training programs, things like that, right? But to me, this is also how you're building wealth, you're building your future, right? Because it's a 3, right? So there's the way that it goes, right, is like there's the mother, the father, and then the child, right? So there's 3. So it's like how you are creating, right? 3 is the number of creative energy, right? And this is like creating wealth, creating physical things, right? And it is a kind of also related to stability because the pyramid is the strongest geometric structure, according to whoever, somebody. This is also kind of related to mind, body, and spirit. So if you're doing things related to that, so if you are talking about taking classes, training programs, stuff like that, then I would say go for it because it will give you all the tools that you require to be able to move things forward as well, right? The magician says that you have all the tools that you require, right? And especially if you're doing some sort of classes, training programs, learning lessons related to communication, right, then that would be good for you too, right? This whole TikTok thing that I have going on here is a lesson in communication for me, right? Personally, because I don't consider myself to be a public speaker. I just come out here, I do what I do, and I trust. I'm working on trusting spirit to guide me and to show me what it is that needs to happen around here. So, if you're in that kind of boat or whatever it is that you're doing, right, wherever spirit is trying to put you to help you to build your life, right, and gain some sort of stability, stop worrying about it, right, because help is being made available to you, right? So good luck with all of that.